Ah yes, the annual PG-13 January horror movie. The Forest is directed by Jason Zada and stars Natalie Dormer as twins. I'm not going to say much of the plot here because I don't want to ruin the film. Basically, Natalie Dormer has a twin. She can feel when something's going wrong with the twin. The twin goes to Japan. She feels like something's wrong, and then she gets a call saying that her twin went into this forest in Japan where people go to commit suicide. So she goes to Japan and goes into the forest with a very attractive man to stumble around until she can hopefully find her sister. The very attractive man is very important in this. I'm going to start with this. So the guy that plays the main male character in here, Taylor Kinney, didn't work for me at all in this film. He was way too pretty boyish, and he came off as, like, he was made as this perfect character, and then there's a part where he's supposed to be kind of dark and creepy, and it didn't work because he felt like he should be on, like, the OC, and it just did not work for me at all. He was just, he wasn't even a bad actor, he just didn't really fit the role. Natalie Dormer's performance in this film did bother me a little bit just because I've seen her in Game of Thrones and in Hunger Games and a couple other things, and she's a very talented actress. But in this film, there are moments where she seems kind of wooden. And for most of the film, she does a good job, she performs fine, and then there are just a couple of emotional scenes where she just seems kind of unnatural, which is weird to me because I know that she can carry a much more emotional performance very, very well, because I've seen her do it. So I don't know why her acting was subpar in this film, but there are moments where it is very subpar. But I do want to talk about Jason Zada, the director, because he is a very good director. Now, this is his first major motion picture, and no, it's not fantastic. It's not a great film by any measure, and no, his direction isn't spot on and perfect, anything all that new. But what it is very interesting, and his directing does maintain a creepy atmosphere. He has very interesting camera angles and has a very interesting style for directing. I can see him having a long and illustrious career as a director, especially in the horror genre. I was very surprised by how well directed this film was. Unfortunately, despite it having sort of a creepy atmosphere for most of the film, there's nothing scary in this film. Nothing scary. It's meant to be a horror movie, but there's nothing that scared me. There's nothing that had me tense, kept me on the edge of my seat. I was fine for the duration of the film. There are jump scares in this film that did nothing. Not a single person in my theater jumped or was startled or anything. The jump scare happens, you can kind of see it. You'd be like, ah, yeah, there's going to be a... Yep, there it is. Throughout the entire film. And that was let down to me. Because PG-13 horror movies that are great, I mean, if you talk about Disturbia, okay, 2007 Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf, which is a very good and kind of an underrated PG-13 horror movie, or thriller movie, whatever you want to call it. It keeps you tense, and you're on the edge of your seat throughout the entire third act of that film. I watched this movie, and there was not a single scene where I was tense. Even The Ring 2, which is a terrible film, had one scene that was like, what's going to happen here? And I'm on the edge of my seat. This film had nothing. I care about the characters, but there's nothing scary in this film at all. It was a cliche PG-13 horror movie at the end of the day, but it was fun, and it was, I think, better than most PG-13 horror movies, especially most PG-13 horror movies that come out in January. So if you like horror movies and you like cheesy horror movies, you will probably enjoy this film. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give The Forest a C. Thanks for watching.